Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to Trendy Stars. Today we'll be going over the top 6 famous celebrities who faked their own death. Let's get into the video. Number 6, Jacqueline de Lahay. If you're a fan of pirates, you've probably heard of Jacqueline de Lahay. The famous pirate queen allegedly turned to piracy to provide herself and her younger brother with some good things. She sailed the high seas without fear, but it wasn't without some challenges along the way. Upon capture, she needed to fake her own death to escape. He lived a number of years as a man to protect her identity. She finally reunited with her infamous crew and returned to life of piracy. She continued to have one of the most successful pirate careers of the 17th century. Her encounter with death gave her the infamous moniker that played on her red hair, back from the dead red. Number 5, Belle Gunness. One of the most notorious celebrities who faked her own death in the early 20th century is Belle Gunness, known as Lady Bluebird. She is estimated to have murdered anywhere between 40 and 180 people during their lifetime. Instead of prosecution, she staged her own death by fire. While she seems to be dead after her lifetime of killing those who came into her life, her hired hand claims that she escaped without any harm. Though a headless body was found on the property, he insisted this belonged to the housekeeper. For years, people across the United States claimed to see her out and about. Number 4, Alexander I of Russia. Sometimes a fake death goes uncovered for years or even centuries. That is, until historians stumble upon new evidence in later years. Recently, there has been a lot of questioning around the death of Tsar Alexander I, raised by his grandmother, Catherine the Great. There has long been a rumor that he staged his own death in 1825 from typhus. Now, Russian researchers are analyzing the handwriting of Alexander I and a monk known as Fyodor Kuzmich. There has been speculation that these two were all one and the same, but now DNA testing might prove that theory for good.
Democratic governing thereafter. Paul I. Alexander I was the grandson of Catherine the Great. His father, Paul I, was the emperor for constitutional government and the abolition of serfdom. Constitution projects were presented to Alexander by Mikhail Speransky, his close stake in that his father's life would be spared. Liberalism. In the first years of his reign, Alexander I launched a series of progressive
Number 3, Igor Vorotanov. One of the most famous cases of fake death in the past few years is the case of Igor Vorotanov. The Minnesota man took out an insurance policy on his own life in 2010. Police in his home country of Moldova reportedly identified a dead body as Vorotanov, leading to a $2 million insurance payout to the family. There was even a memorial service held by his family in his honor. Just 3 years later, the FBI received a tip that he faked his own death and was now alive in Ukraine with a new name. Agents found recent photos on his son's laptop, leading to his charge in 2015. Number 2, Jon Stonehouse. This former member of the UK's parliament faked his own death in Miami in the 1970s. He wanted to start a new life with his mistress, and he'd been caught in a series of fraudulent businesses. He pretended to drown in Miami, escaping to Australia under the name Joseph Markham. His bad deeds caught up to him, and he was caught by the police and returned to Britain the next year. He was found guilty and served a short time in prison before being released. Number 1, Timothy Dexter. Though you probably haven't heard of Timothy Dexter yourself, you most definitely would have if you were a part of the Massachusetts Society in the early 1800s. Though he dropped out of school at the age of 8, he got lucky financially and found himself as one of the richest men in Boston. That being said, money can't buy culture, and high society never accepted him. Dexter saw only the limelight, and he went so far as to begin calling himself a lord. After facing years of disapproval, he decided it was time to see how everyone really felt about him. He faked his own death and organized a grand funeral in his honor. Dexter watched a display from a lavish tomb in his home and saw those that he was supposedly closest to weren't as mournful as he expected. He returned to join his own funeral, and he never reached the high social status he longed for. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like on the video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.